Hello. Hi everyone. Welcome back. As part of the today's session, we are gonna discuss about karate objects, guys. If you have remembered, we have used karate.read method, which is used to read the information from a file. Karate.write, which is used to write the information. Karate.environment, env basically, which is used to set that particular or read that particular environment information. All these things are coming from a karate object itself, and it has a various methods like abort, append, compare image, all those things, out of which we have studied a couple of methods. Among all those things, we are gonna study about karate.json path as part of our today's example. What exactly this JSON path is gonna does? This JSON path, you need to give a JSON as an input along with what exactly the expression that you wanna validate, you need to give it. So for this, the JSON input along with the expression we need to specify. What exactly this JSON path does? This brings the power of a JSON path into the JavaScript, and you can find an example here. That's fine. Let us open those things basically. So what exactly this JSON path does is it's a query basically that we can use in order to validate the response, the complete details about this particular thing, right? The JSON path was given in this particular link. Let me open this particular link. So it is it's just opening this GitHub link of the JSON path, and precisely this JSON path is always used to refer to a JSON structure where exactly we can validate or we can retrieve a particular information from the JSON. How exactly we are writing down an XPath, right? The similar way you can write down the JSON path also. Okay, in this particular JSON path, dollar is always referred to the complete response that you are getting from the API. So if you have a remembered, guys, in a previous scenarios, wherever we are using a response, in some scenarios we have used a dollar in retrieving that. This dollar is coming from this particular JSON path. To understand how exactly we are retrieving this particular data, I'm going with jsonpath.com, which will correct my syntaxes. If I am doing a syntactically right or not and all those things, right? I can use this particular one. And they have already given an input basically. They have already given an input. What exactly this dollar does? See, basically, let me put a JSON path as a dollar. This dollar is representing the complete JSON. Okay, if you scroll down a bit, the various operators that we have here are basically the dollar, the root element to the query, so which is this starting itself. Okay, the root element to the query that it is starting itself. Perfect. At the rate, the current node is being processed, dot dot, the deep scan, dot followed by a child, what exactly that you want to validate, and certain expressions, what exactly you want to do for the filters. And there are some inbuilt functions are there. You can use an equal to compare, not equal to, greater than, less than, or equal to, all those things. They have given some JSON examples. Along with that, they have given some examples also what could be the result. These examples we will see in the next class by looking into this JSON response. But for today, we will see a small example. This topic was split into two sections. This is the first example that we were referring. So if you see, basically, this dollar is representing this complete response. So what I have done is, in the previous session, we have used this particular API. Whatever the response that you got from that API, just placed it here. And this dollar is representing the complete response. And if you have a look into that, it is having an array of multiple objects inside that. So the dollar of array. So in the array, I need to specify the index. Maybe I'm just giving it as a 0th index. So in the response, that 0th index, this is the pointing. Okay, this is what it's pointing basically in this particular response. And then what I'm doing right now here, dot email. If you go with this particular one, it's retrieving the email for this particular chunk. Perfectly all right. We have this expression in place, right? We have this particular expression in place. Let us implement this particular syntax in our karate framework with an example. The schema validation scenario, what you have created yesterday, copy it, put it back here, and delete all these unnecessary steps. And I'm just naming it as validate JSON path. Okay, this is the comments itself, that's the URL. And when it hit it, I need to do a karate.json path, right? This I need to do basically karate.json path. So what I'm gonna do right now is then print, okay, karate.json path. If you see basically karate.json path, I'm printing it. So what we need to give here, we are giving a response as an input, and for this, whatever this particular stuff is there, put it here in the expression, close it. Okay, and now when I run this particular scenario, what it's gonna happen is whichever the email that it is related to that particular entry, it should print only that particular email. See, basically it's printing this. Okay, if you compare it with the browser, the same information is being printed down to the console. Perfectly all right. So here, if you observe right now, we have used a dot email. So as per this, I have used a dot and as well as a property also I have used. And I just want to do a precise expression filter. I want to go with a complete expression. So a particular filter. Okay, we do have a filters and I just want to apply that particular filter. So dollar dot. Okay, and it's an array basically. You need to define it as an array. And if you see this particular syntax, it's starting with a question mark, open bracket, and an expression. Question mark, open bracket, and a close the bracket. And inside that, you need to specify this particular expression. So here, what I'm doing right now is at the rate. So I'm just referring to this particular at the rate dot id. Okay, from this particular response, I'm going with this id at the rate dot id. Okay, I was just using this particular id, whichever the id it's matching, right? It's printing all those things. And here we do have a comparison operators, right? Equal to, so I'm using double equal to 1. If this id is equal to 1, get only that particular entry. See, basically that particular entry is being populated. And on top of it, so for this particular entry, I want to get a name. So dot a name. So this is the one that it is getting that particular name. Copy this particular syntax, come back here, and then print karate dot json path, apply this on the response and put this expression in the double quote. Okay, so this is retrieving. So here in the previous example, directly we used a dot and as well as a node, and in this example we are just using a expression and we are retrieving that particular information. When I run it as a cucumber, whichever the name that it is associated to id equal to 1 would be printed down. Okay, where is the print statement? Let's come back here. So this is the one basically that it printed down. Okay, this is the one that it printed down. So this is the way how exactly we can use a JSON path in doing a particular validations or retrieving some information from that particular JSON response. Okay, perfectly all right, guys. Good, done the deal. See you again in the next session with the furthermore examples on this particular JSON path. Thank you. Bye bye.